When did gospel centrality kind of break in onto your theological radar, specifically the gospel being a significant component of how a believer should live, not merely a message that converts unbelievers, but a message that gives life and sustenance to believers? When did that hit for you?
When I moved to St. Louis, we are near Covenant Seminary, and Dr. Brian Chappell has been a huge mentor to me. I finished my Doctor of Ministry there, and I probably him, a combination of him and Tim Keller, and I think just the listening to those guys preach, teach, and then just thinking about specifically how I motivated people in my preaching, and seeing kind of the results of that, you know, and early on, that I just, people were not tying the application of my sermons back to the person and work of Christ. And so there was a lot of try harder, do better, you know, in response to preaching. And I was seeing a lot of burnout. I was seeing a lot of frustration. I wasn't seeing a lot of joyful obedience. And of course I blame the sheep because it's their fault. I'm preaching the word, right? And then I realized one day, wait a minute, I'm not teaching them how to be properly motivated. And I'm not teaching them that all the imperatives of Scripture flow from the indicatives of Scripture. And which is, you know, Dr. Chappell talks about it as putting your do's before your who's.
Right.
You know, that's what I was doing to God's people. And so, you know, and it took a few years. I mean, I still think I improperly motivate people to obey God's truth, and I don't really motivate them with the gospel regularly. I think I'm better at it, but it's a constant process. I think the human heart always wants to work towards self-righteousness. Obviously, you know, that's Luther's contention and others, and I think that's true for preachers, that we really devolve to manipulation, to you know, basically law-oriented motivation for people. And certainly there is an aspect that we have to, you know, this is what God says we need to do it. And there's a raw obedience that has to happen. But as I read the Scripture, I think there is a real, I mean, that's a place we should, this raw obedience place, that's a place we should visit, not live. Like we're constantly living in, I gotta do this, you know, not I want to do this or I desire to do this, which obviously your ministry is based on that. I mean, there's a problem. And so I've really tried to figure that out. But probably Keller and Chappell, those are the guys.